Lord in all this luminous achievement, however, was the one unbridgeable gap between physics and any such science of human behavior: the surprises that arise from free will and human creativity. The miracles forbidden in deterministic physics are not only routine in economics, they constitute the most important economic events. For a miracle is simply an innovation, a sudden and bountiful addition of information to the system. Newtonian physics does not admit of new information of this kind. Describe a system, and you are done. Describe an economic system, and you have described only the circumstances, favorable or unfavorable, for future innovation. In Newton's physics, the equations encompass and describe change, but there is no need to describe the agent of this change, the creator of new information. Newton was a devout Christian, but his system relieved God or his angels of the need to steer the spheres. In an economy, however, everything useful or interesting depends on agents of change called entrepreneurs. An economics of systems only, an economics of markets but not of men, is fatally flawed. Flawed from its foundation, economics as a whole has failed to improve much with time. As it both ossified into an academic establishment and mutated into mathematics, the Newtonian scheme became an illusion of determinism in a tempestuous world of human actions. Economists became preoccupied with mechanical models of markets and uninterested in the willful people who inhabit them. Some economists become obsessed with market efficiency and others with market failure. Generally held to be members of opposite schools, freshwater and saltwater, Chicago and Cambridge, liberal and conservative, Austrian and Keynesian, both sides share an essential economic vision. They see their discipline as successful insofar as it eliminates surprise, insofar, that is, as the inexorable workings of the machine override the initiatives of the human actors. Free market economists believe in the triumph of the system and want to let it alone to find its equilibrium, the stasis of optimum allocation of resources. Socialists see the failures of the system and want to impose equilibrium from above. Neither spends much time thinking about the miracles that repeatedly save us from the equilibrium of starvation and death. The late financial crisis was perhaps the first in history that economists actually caused. Entranced by statistical models, they ignored the larger dimensions of human creativity and freedom. To cite an obvious example, structured finance, the conglomerations of thousands of dubious mortgages, diced and sliced and recombined and all trebly insured against failure, was supposed to eliminate the surprise of mortgage defaults. The mortgage defaults that came anyway and triggered the collapse came not from the aggregate inability of debtors to pay, as the economists calculated, but from the free acts of home buyers. Having bet on constantly rising home prices, they simply folded their hands and walked away when the value of their houses collapsed. The bankers had accounted for everything but free will. The real error, however, was a divorce between the people who understood the situation on the ground and the people who made the decisions. John Allison is the former CEO of a North Carolina bank, BB&T, which profitably surmounted the crisis after growing from $4.5 billion in assets when he took over in 1989 to $152 billion in 2008. Allison ascribed his success to decentralization of power in the branches of his bank. But decentralized power, he warned, has to be guarded from the well-meaning elites who like to run their system and hate deviations. So as CEO, Allison had to insist to his managers that with localized decision-making, we get better information, we get faster decisions, we understand the market better. Allison was espousing a central insight of the new economics of information. At the heart of capitalism is the unification of knowledge and power. As Friedrich Hayek, the leader of the Austrian School of Economics, put it, to assume all the knowledge to be given to a single mind is to disregard everything that is important and significant in the real world. Because knowledge is dispersed, power must be as well. Leading classical thinkers such as Thomas Sowell and supply